Welcome back to our channel. So today I'm actually doing a video about DoorDash. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it in here. So overall, we've done DoorDash for over 4 months, and I think we have a clear idea of what we actually like. The reason why I wanted to do this video in the car instead of being at home is because this is like our reality. I feel like when it comes to DoorDash, you just have to be very patient. You just have to do so many things out there. But I'm gonna ask a couple of questions for him, and hopefully he can respond back and give you a point of view, and I'll add up a little bit about my experience too. So why did you start doing DoorDash?
We were in a financial pickle, and we definitely wanted to increase our finance flow.
We were definitely having a hard time. My job was not paying me enough, and I was not making enough money at my job. And you know, even though he was able to assist me with some money, I was still struggling with. We were overall struggling with money, and I think we were looking for a part-time job, and we were still. I guess, you know, sometimes when you speak to and talk over, when you're close to your phone, it kind of like listens to you. So we were watching a couple of videos on YouTube, and it came across to DoorDash video, and so we started looking into it, and we decided that we wanted to do DoorDash and see how it went. I remember my first time doing DoorDash.
We were so nervous.
Can you tell us more about the experience?
We were nervous. We were like, oh my God, what do we do? How do we do this?
Yeah.
We were stressed. I remember we were arguing the first 2 days, right?
I remember,
we were like, where am I going? What do I do?
Yeah.
That's actually
it was
every day.
It was really hard to do the DoorDash on our first time. The reason why is because you don't really know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's overall everything. When you are afraid of something, you kind of become hesitant, and you kind of become like, you don't really know.
Just nervous overall. It was just like, I think it was a fear of doing things wrong when you're messing with other people's money. You know what I'm saying?
And when it comes to, at least my point of view, I remember the first time we started doing DoorDash, it said, go, we literally, like right now, I don't know, for some reason.
Probably like get it closer and tap the screen.
Okay, I think we can see it in here. Yeah. So it says to navigate right now because we're not in a closed section where there's orders picking up. But as soon as you do DoorDash, sometimes when it gets busy, it picks up an order and it tells you where to go. It tells you the place, the amount of the money of the order, and the how many.
By when do you have to pick it up?
When you have to pick it up on the top, and then by how many items you have to pick up. And so it was very stressing because we didn't know where it would take us, and obviously it did take us very far. I remember we drove over like 50 minutes on our way back, and but overall we made $30 in less than 2 hours, 1 hour and a half probably. That was our first DoorDash order. We did two separate ones. We did one for Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, and the second one was for Applebee's. And I think this is a really good job for somebody who's struggling with money, or for somebody who's needing
a quick
income.
Pick me up. Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier today, and I feel like, would you recommend DoorDash for somebody?
I feel like I really would recommend DoorDash. I have my 50-50s.
Yeah.
There's days that I feel overwhelmed with it. You know, it's not being consistent. I'm not getting the orders that I need to profit, you know, the gas and to profit my time, as well as, you know, the running around. But I really would recommend DoorDash because it's great. I mean, this is not a sponsored video. I wish. But it is great. You know, it really does not only stabilize your financial situation, but it also helps you just if you want to get a little bit of extra money. And it's fun because the way we take it is you can have as many people as you want in your car. So you can talk, you can have some fun when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're going to shop for other people's food. So you learn about different restaurants.
So the experience overall can be very fun.
It can
I'm going to show you really quick how you actually start doing DoorDash. You just click on Dash now. And it tells you what time do you want to finish it. So let's say right now it's 9:23. So I want to end it up at 11, even though you can end it up sooner than that. And so what I'm going to do is it's asking me, make sure you're ready for DoorDash. It says charge phone. You click it and then it's enough gas, red card, and hot bag. We have the hot bag right behind him.
Right.
And
the red card, when they say red card, they mean this card, which is essentially like a credit or a credit card more than anything, that the company releases funds to every time you have to pay for an order. So you just swipe that in, bada bing, bada boom.
And then right now, what it's telling us is to go near a Steak and Shake that's like less than 5 minutes away. And so we're gonna be talking about DoorDash, and I wanted to show you guys how you actually start doing DoorDash. Have you had any bad experiences while delivering DoorDash?
I mean, nothing that I can be like, oh my god, this was the worst. But I've had rude customer service. Some people most definitely feel that you're taking their tip away, and of course some of them show that. But I mean, I haven't really had any negative experiences with either. Well, scratch that.
While he thinks about it, I'm gonna talk about a couple of bad experiences that we've experienced before.
Are you gonna talk about the Stackle Pickle?
That's it.
That's the one I thought about.
When we were driving one time to pick up an order, probably about 20 minutes away from here, we were driving in the snow, and I recently actually deleted the video because I was like, you know what, we're probably not gonna need this. But we were driving in the snow, and here in Indiana, we get snow, and so it was very absurd for me to drive all the way there, and it said to pick up the order at McDonald's. Now, there's this another like hiccup. There's like annoying thing. Some restaurants may ask you to go and pick up the order actually inside of the restaurant, and even though the app tells you to go and use the drive-through, so you know you have some like unbalances going on over there. So we drove all the way there, and while we actually thought we had already passed the restaurant was closed, McDonald's at the moment. And when we called in because you know it's not the customer's fault, it's not your fault. It's actually DoorDash who is not being keeping up with so many options, so many orders, so many restaurants, so many changes. And so we called in, and I remember the customer service started saying, you know, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to pay you, and you're supposed to get paid. And it felt very uncomfortable because we spent over like 25 minutes on our way back to home talking to this customer representative while she actually hung up on us. Then there was...
And the truth of the situation, and that is so true, I totally blocked that out of my mind. And the reality of the situation is that you are doing DoorDash because it's...
You need the money.
You need the money, and you're doing it because it's work. You're working. Yeah. You're not just like, let me get in my car and then like, let me just drive around. No, you're doing this for a purpose.
Because
you're doing this for a reason, right?
And then I also remember one time when we actually started, there are a few times where you actually get so many orders, like you can get up to 3 orders from the same restaurant. So you actually get there like around 5 p.m. And then right before you leave, almost at 5:20, you get another order, and then you get another order. So you actually have to have like several orders, and that's why they encourage you to use your hot bag, and then make sure you don't misplace your orders. And it's very uncomfortable sometimes because I feel like sometimes it can be a job where you can get overwhelmed if you don't have that extra help, because a lot of the times you are also timed, or not a lot of the times, every single order you're timed. So when I feel like when we go to Carmel, you have such a hard time parking, and you actually have to drop somebody to go pick up the order while the car goes back and pick you up back again. So it doesn't feel like it's a one-person job, to me at least.
To make that time frame. Yeah. I agree with you.
Because they are timing you. They are telling you you're going to go and pick it up at 10:01.
Or even Broad Ripple, which is a really busy street here, or like a strip where all these restaurants are at. Like, it's very difficult. You have to pay for parking most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of doesn't work. I feel like DoorDash should expand a little bit and reach out just for better of their business.
Yeah.
And reach out and be like, hey, can you guys make a little designated area for the Dashers to come and pick up? So this way it's a little bit faster, more efficient, and obviously more cost effective, because that comes out of our pocket.
Yeah, and you were going to talk about Saco Pico.
Yeah. So negative experiences, I thought you were mentioning not as in a whole with DoorDash. I thought you meant like with restaurants. So with restaurants, mostly they're fairly neutral. Again, some of them are very rude. Just recently we had an experience with a restaurant called Stackled Pickle. Every time we go there, there's always an issue, but it was never something directly towards us. But this last time that we went there, unfortunately we had to face, a racist individual.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but of course I called her out and I spoke to her manager.
And so what the situation was, I feel like we should explain a little bit about. And right now we're still waiting on orders nearby, and hopefully it'll pick up. Sometimes when you start doing DoorDash, doesn't mean that even though it says it's busy, doesn't mean that you're actually going to get an order right away. So you actually have to wait. And I feel like when we went to Stacked Pickle, we went there, we came over, and I asked for the order while he went to use the restroom. And then, so I asked for the order. The waitress said, your order is not ready yet, with such a nasty attitude. And I was like, okay. And he came over and he asked me, what happened? Is your order ready? Whatever. So while we wait over there for 15 minutes, the waitress comes and drops off in front of us, like the bag, literally in front of us. Now, take in mind that a lot of the times, the way that they organize, the way that they put everything in containers is not up to us or the drivers. So,
and as a customer, really quick to add to what you're saying, as a customer,
you want to have the best experience.
Trust that the restaurant knows what they're putting in my bag. I wouldn't want a Dasher, a random person that I don't know if their hands are clean or whatever, going in and opening my food. I just personally wouldn't feel comfortable. So you can verify as a Dasher, and I'll probably open it too, but I personally
we never
don't open it.
And so I was very confused as to why she had to drop it all the way there. And then while I grabbed the bag, Domel said, we're still missing a Coke.
Missing a Coca-Cola.
A Diet Coke. And so he asked, hey, do you have the Diet Coke ready? So she rolls her eyes and goes back to where she had to pick it up. And then she comes back. We don't see any straws there. So
no, not only that, she comes back, the whole Coke cup is completely drenched in Coke.
And obviously when we come and deliver for you, you'd be like, whether this driver was drinking it on it or they were messy, they were not careful enough with my food. I don't know what's going on. So you probably don't even want to drink out of it. So Domel asked for a napkin, and then the lady comes and drops the napkins in front of us.
She slammed the napkin holder, just like she slammed the food. She slammed it on top of the counter.
In front of the rest of the customers. Now remember, this waitress is Caucasian, so most of the people waiting there, they were Caucasian. So if you're Caucasian, don't feel offended by this, but this is what we've been experiencing over the past 2 years. So long story short, I asked for a straw, and so the lady says, they are literally in front of you, with a nasty attitude, like, I'm begging her for money or something like that. And it just doesn't feel right, because when I go and deliver, I go not only to show my image should be presentable, but also the food should be ready with plenty of napkins, plenty of forks, spoons, and whatever. And so I feel like it's really important for the restaurant sometimes to keep in mind that your staff should be up to the same level of the standard that your restaurant looks like and they deliver to.
And when I spoke to the manager, that's exactly what I told him. Like, this is the face of your business, and we are trying to do our best to not only keep DoorDash's name up in respect, but we want to also keep the restaurant's name up in respect with everything clean, organized. Now, let's point something really quick out, and not to go really into detail with the story, because again, we approach it to the manager. Management seemed to be really okay with her behavior, which that's fine. We're moving forward from that. But the straws, we prefer to give you guys a closed straw. Nothing that has touched anything. We want to make sure that it's as sanitary as possible. And that's what I was asking for. I was asking for a closed straw. And what she had in front of me was coffee, black, small straws. And if you have an 8-ounce Coke, I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to drink out of a little cocktail straw, you know? So
anyway, I feel like overall, I feel like those are the kind of experience that keep your mind open, because you're gonna go out and get through so many, uncomfortable people like that. Like, they just give you a look. Depending, I feel like it all goes back also to the way that you present yourself, the way that you look like. Because some people may look at you like down, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day, you're also doing a service. You're also working for your money, so you should be honored, or you should be respected as. And I feel like a lot of the times people are not mindful of that. They want their food like the way they want it to. And I don't know if I'm just rambling, but
no, I mean, switching away from this topic, because it's not all negative. DoorDash can be really fun. You can get free drinks sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of the times I feel like some restaurants have given us. I remember what's the name of this burger place?
Red Robin's.
Red Robin's gave us one time
free
chips.
food.
And also other ones too. Like if they see they say. I remember one time we went to a Thai restaurant, and then the lady said, "Oh, I know you're working. What can I get you? I can get you soda. I can get you a tea, whatever you want."
Yeah, a lot of places they do ask. I always say no because I'm nervous they're going to charge me for it. But they do offer complimentary drinks, and this can be a Coca-Cola. This can be a Thai tea. Whatever the restaurant's offering, you can be like, "Hey, can I get this?" And of course, if they're suggesting, "Can you get this?" Yes.
And I feel like it's really fun and entertaining also too, because a lot of the times, like you said before, you haven't never walked into a restaurant, so you get to see the whole vibe, how the people treat you, how the people are. Like there's a restaurant almost in front of our houses, which is it's Greek food and something like that, and we've gone to that restaurant as customers, but when we go there as dashers, at least me,
the experience is completely different.
Yeah, people are nasty to you. People feel like, oh, here you go. We already and I feel like a lot of the times people may not realize about that, because they just don't go through that. But overall, I would say I would highly recommend it. Now, to be concise and honest and almost close this video, we don't want to make it that long, because we're also going to add some of the short videos and clips that we've recorded over the time. But would you say, according to what the marketing says and states, did you get $15 to $20 an hour or $19 an hour?
So it says you can make up to $19 an hour. I personally do not think that's the truth. I think that if you are in a very, 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 very busy area, and if you have more than one person,
and you live in a big city with a lot of restaurants,
I can see where if you divide your orders on that really hot moment of the day, you could make potentially
$14
to
$15.
$17. But I don't think you can make anywhere above $17.
At least in our experience.
Right.
And then also one thing before we leave, I also want to let you guys know that.
What is he letting us know?
I also want to let you guys know that in our last Dash day, we actually got a Walmart order, which was very impressive, because
it's changing, everybody.
We know they're like apps they pay to do their grocery shopping, but this time we actually got it said to go to the Walmart and park there in like somewhere in the pickup section in a green area, and they have a designated area where you actually go and pick up your items. So this order was like 36 or 38 bags of products. So you walk into the customer service area, you go and ask for the order, and then when you go and deliver, you actually, to finalize and continue doing dashing, you actually have to collect a signature. And so to me, that was new.
Yes. I will say this. I liked doing it, but I wish they would have offered more money.
Because it was a hassle. It was a hassle for one person. Luckily, there's two of us here helping each other. But there were too many bags, and sometimes when you enter,
and they have strict orders too, which they said don't put bags on the floor. Make sure you hand bag per bag to the customer. Like, so it's complicated, and they offer you the same amount of a regular order.
And don't forget, sometimes you have to like enter to an apartment complex where you have to, you know, do
the
certain,
keypad.
And then when I remember that time when we had the Walmart experience, we have to go in it, we had to call the customer, we had to enter another keypad before entering the apartment complex, and you know, you sometimes really don't know what to expect. So
overall, you guys, I hope this doesn't shift positively or negative your idea. I think this
hopefully
is
positive.
Yeah, I think this is just for you to see our experience. This is a team situation.
Before we move into that, would you say that I feel like we're missing one of the biggest things that people are coming into this video today. And the reason why I want to mention this is because very important. If you're doing this for the money, you got to hustle it. You got to stay true to yourself. And you got to stay until probably midnight to get really good money. Good thing about this too is that sometimes people may even tip you in cash. So you don't. Not a lot of people tip you in cash, but it's really nice when you get.
I would say out of a 100%,
definitely you get really nice compliments.
I feel like
totally. Yes.
Out of a 100% of the customers, I would say maybe a 20% will tip you.
Probably like 10%
or 10%. So don't expect it all the way, but it's nice when you get it. It's appreciative.
Yeah. And then one thing for sure that I do not agree with is that I've seen a lot of videos from Dashers getting food out of their dashing orders.
Oh, yes.
And I don't agree with that. I've never done it. Every time I would recommend to do a dash, go get something to eat first at home.
Yeah.
Or get yourself something, because at the end of the day, you're going to smell food overall the whole shift.
I mean, and some of them smell amazing. But I mean, don't do as you wouldn't like to be done, you know?
No. So, anything else that you want to
add? I think this is it. I'm hopeful that you guys learn, you know, and enjoy your experience with Dash. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, but as long as you give it your best when you're doing it, I think that's what's going to be what's best.
And I'm going to link down below the DoorDash link for you guys to subscribe. Remember, if you subscribe, make sure you try it and see how you like it. At the end of the day, if you schedule it for 2 to 3 or 4, 8 hours straight, you can still take a 30 to 40 minute break, and also you can cancel it at any time if you don't feel safe to. And if you have any problems by erasing any kind of like orders before ahead of time, you can always call DoorDash. If you guys want us to do another DoorDash video, please let us know in the comment down below. From Indianapolis to the world, goodbye.
Bye.